Okay, so yeah, this is the second update to my platform, planq, and the last video had very terrible audio, so this time I clipped my mic near, so the audio is better now. Okay, since last update, there has been a lot of changes. I am not sure the code changes, but I'm pretty sure about, like I have the list of all the feature changes. So code wise, I think I did some restructuring, like I shifted some files to the utils, and I cleaned up some code and yeah, other stuff. So yeah, other than that, the site is pretty much complete. I guess there's one bonus feature remaining to code. My friend recommended me that, so I'll be working on that next, and I think after that we'll be ready to launch. So what have we done so far, like after the last update? If we open the page now, boom, there are a lot of changes. The navbar has been changed a bit, the css. Other than that, the name title bar is gone. It was taking a lot of space. The dashboard is already pretty cluttered, so yeah, the buttons have shifted above. And this thing, the recent chapter section, this section is related to the space repetition we talked about in the last video. So what is this? So space repetition basically reminds you of when you have to prepare that particular topic next based on your performance, based on your previous performances. So currently there are like 4 chapters. You can have more like all the chapters come under space repetition. We are only showing 4 here. You can see more here, but that page isn't made yet, so I'll be working on that as well. So yeah, you can see how many questions you have solved so far from that particular topic, and when you have to perform that topic again, and how much you are comfortable with that chapter topic. So you can see this is 95%. I was just like uh, attempting correct all of them, so that's why the ease is so high. So for some it's like a bit low. So this is like review overdue. So I had to perform this yesterday 28th, because last I performed it like 22nd, I guess. So yeah, the first interval is 6 days, and after that the intervals are calculated based on a formula, and the formula is this. Let me show. So the space repetition has its separate module because it was getting a bit cluttered in the database file, so I just made a separate module for that. So yeah, this is all the pre-computed data for each topic. So like chapter data, then chapter id, then the chapter name, how many questions there are in that chapter. The level of the chapter is decided based on the average of all the questions that is uh, calculated in the database. So after that, there is the decay rate, by what rate that chapter decays, like the retention for that chapter. So it is calculated with this formula. These formulas are all basically taken from Anki and the super memo 2 algorithm. So they, like, some of them are a bit tweaked. So like if you see, for some question, like there are some different amounts for different levels. So yeah, the revision threshold, the yeah, the difficulty affects the ease factor of the chapter basically. So the default ease factor is 2.5, and then we basically we reduce the ease factor based on the level. If the level is high, we reduce it a bit, and then if the level is like 1, then 1 minus 1 is 0, so it stays 2.5. So ease factor is max 2.5, it doesn't go above that, and the least amount it can go is 1.3. That is like you know dog shit about that chapter, so you should prepare well for it, or you should just skip it because you are that bad. Anyway, revision threshold, this is the amount of questions that you should do for that particular revision to be counted as a revision, because you can perform a single question and we cannot like uh, take it as a complete revision of the chapter, right? So there's a revision threshold, like you have to do minimum of this amount of questions from that particular chapter, and that is decided based on the number of questions in that chapter. Some chapters contain over 200 questions, some even contains 300 questions, and there's a chapter which contains 17 questions. So yeah, that does affect the revision threshold. So it's basically you have to at minimum you have to perform like 15% of that chapter, and like it doesn't go below 5. So minimum it's 15% of all the questions that are inside that particular chapter. So it ranges from 5 to 25. More than 25 and it will be just like a hassle to perform that many questions in one go. So 25 is max. So yeah, and based on your performance you will be you will receive penalty and bonus. Like the amount, the quality of your revision will decide if you will receive a penalty or a bonus, and that is to calculated based on the level of the chapter. Okay, so yeah, this is the database. The data is stored for each chapter inside the database. Let me show. So if I go into this, and here like for each user there will be a collection, and for each collection, inside each collection there will be a chapter, there will be the SR data for that, for the chapters they have attempted. So in my case I have attempted 4 chapters so far for revision, so there are 4 documents for that. Okay, so this is how you calculate the quality. So the state for a particular question. So if the question is like true or false, like the question was attempted correct or not, and how much time it took for that question to attempt. So the time taken, if the time taken is less than 5 seconds and the question is the question was incorrect, so basically it was a guess. Like under 5 seconds if you perform a question wrong, we consider that as a guess and we give 0 for that. If the question was false, like the question was incorrect, the answer, we return 1, and we like it's more than 5 seconds. Else, if the else like the status is correct, so the time taken under 10 seconds, if the question attempted was under 10 seconds, which is like pretty fast, so we return 3, and if it took more than 10 seconds, then we return 2 as quality. So the quality ranges from 0 to 3. Now we calculate interval. Yeah, that's how we calculate. It's a lot. So the interval is basically how when you have to perform that chapter next. So it's minimum 1, and then other than if it's like more than 1, we will send that. So it is calculated based on this formula. If the quality is more than 1.5, less than 1.5, then we give them the penalty. If the quality is more than 2.5, which is like 2.5 to 3, if the quality is between that, we give them the bonus. Or if none of that, we just calculate based on the last interval multiplied by the ease factor. Then there is the retention. This is how we calculate the retention for the chapter. This is an exponential formula. Is this being used? No, this is not being used. So this is something we use in the front end, not in the back end. So this is not used here. Calculate ease factor. This is how we calculate the ease factor. This is a long ass formula for this. You can read it. It depends on the old ease factor and the quality of that particular revision. What do I mean by the quality of the revision? Basically the quality of all the questions, and we just take the average of that. That is the quality of the entire revision. I think it's a bit flawed because the question difficulty also matters, so we might change that formula in future. Okay, other than that, calculate delta. Delta is how, okay, so consider this, like you performed a chapter today, you practice the chapter today, and you have to according to this formula, according to the interval formula, you have to perform that chapter again after 6 days. So if you perform that before 6 days, the chances are you have like more retention of that chapter, so it will be easy for you to perform it before 6 days. So because of that, we just that is not recommended that you should perform it before 6 days, because that will not be helpful for you, because you are attempting it before your retention goes like below a certain threshold, and yeah, it won't be effective. So we calculate the delta for that, like when was the last revision and how long were we supposed to like wait till the next revision, and then on the today we subtract today's date from that and return the delta. Okay, this is update progress. Whenever we do a practice session, we send over the user ID, the chapter ID for which the uh, practice was done, and the practice data, all the questions, their status, and how much time it took to solve them. And now for each of them, we just take the total. This is like calculating the quality of the practice session. Wait, why am I explaining you the code? I was supposed to show the features. Yeah. So yeah, that is basically the spaced repetition method. Again, and yeah, if I show you this, so let's look at this one. Okay, not this one. Let's look at this one. One second. Yeah, motion in 2 dimension. We practiced that recently, so okay, so we should look at this one. So mechanical properties of solid. Last we revised it on 26th July. Next revision is on 1st August. So currently, according to the retention graph and the decay rate, we have currently 70%, 62%. It's showing round up here. So current retention for today is 62.7%. So progress over time, this is like how much progress you made over time. So average accuracy is like for the last revision it was 94.7%. Like the last revision it was 85.7. So you can see how you progress over time. So yeah, the time took before was 1 point. I was just going through all the questions quickly, so that's why it's so less here. And last revision was 6 seconds. This is average time, average of all the questions. And now here's all the questions you have performed so far during practice and their status, how long it took for you to solve that question, and was it correct or not, and when you attempted that question. So the accuracy is also given here, and you can just like click on this and go to that question and perform that as well. So yeah, that's the that's that. Now next is so that's basically for all the space repetition thing. Next is if we go to this page, so we have now pages for every exam. I haven't like coded the front end for this like on the dashboard, but the pages are there. I will put these on the dashboard as well for the exams you are preparing for right now, not all the exams. So like you can go to any of the subjects, and then you will have all of these chapters in that subject. So you can practice them directly from here. You can view all the questions and you can look at the review is like the page we looked just before this. So if we view all the questions, it will take you to the search section, and you will have all the questions here: JEE Main Physics, Units and Dimensions, and here are all the questions for a total of 133 questions. So this is for the all the questions. Now next we have achievements. Now I am not sure if we had achievements in the last video, but I'm just gonna show you. So achievements are these are the achievements that you get for solving the questions. So yeah, you can unlock them here. There's a description for them as well, so you can look at that if you want more details. So yeah, that's that. And next is planq AI. Yes, planq AI is completely done. So this is here, you can see this is a ChatGPT like layout for it. There are some prompts you can click, and you can like select your which exam you want to prepare for, and which subject you are which exam you are looking for and which subject you are looking for, and then you can ask your doubt. So I'll just take a question from here because I don't have any question right now with me. So if I go to J mains and physics, if I paste this question and send it, it will think a bit. I'll redo the thinking animation also. So yeah, that's that. So it takes a bit to think, and then here it is. So first of all, it gives you all the key concepts. This is basically I'm using Gemini Flash 2.0 for this, for the LLM, and for context providing I'm using Facebook. I forgot the full form of it. It's FAISS. So yeah, that's what I'm using for the retrieval augmented generation. Basically, what that does is it takes your query, it searches through all the questions that are in the database for previous year and finds the question that matches like that are the closest matches of from our query, and uses those question and their solution and their example explanations as a context to give the AI more knowledge about that particular topic. So that's why we are like taking the exam and the subject for as an input as well, so that we can fine tune the RAG more. So yeah, you can see the step-by-step explanation for it, and the final answer is 372 and 310. And these are the context used. You can click on these and you can just look at the question. So if I guess it was this. Yep, that was the correct answer. And yeah, we also added the anime thing. So if I wait a second, yeah, so the notification has anime in them, anime characters in them. So I can also move forward with this. Explain like I am 5. Yes. So yeah, okay, imagine, so it explains the question like I'm 5. Yeah, so that's the thing. For each question you have to create a new chat, because it only goes through all of these. Like it only uses the RAG system for the first prompt of the chat, and from the next prompt it will just use the default uh, default LLM, and not take any context, and like without any prompt injection. So if now I'll like explain a bit technically the RAG system. You can skip. I don't think I have anything after this to show. You can just like skip the video right now if you don't want any technical explanation. So the RAG was initially implemented within the app. So if I go to this ai.py, currently it goes to the RAG endpoint /retrieve and fetches the the AI response from there. But before this, I was performing everything within this app. But the thing is, the platform is being hosted on Vercel on the free tier, and there's a limit of how much data you can send through that. So the problem is I'll have to delete this as well. So the problem is the libraries that I was using for like sentence transformer, that is for that is also used to create, I guess, embeds. Yeah, that is like really huge. So it wasn't being hosted on, like the deploy was failing on Vercel. So what I had to do is I created a separate API for that. So you can go to app.py, like this is also on GitHub. If you go to GitHub, and it's on planq.org/rag, it's uploaded there, so you can look at it if you want. Other than that, yeah, so this is made in fast API. So the thing what I had to do is I did everything here now, and I hosted it on Hugging Face. This is what I was doing in the what we were doing in the previous platform with my other teammates. My other teammates suggested me this route, so yeah, thanks to him I was able to do this. And yeah, so if we go to the RAG, we can see the code here. So it uses Google Gemini 2.0 Flash. This is the sentence transformer we are using for generating embeds, and the AI is for only these four exams. The rest are like the database was too short to create a RAG, and it was not like feasible as well. So yeah, it's only for these four exams. If it's needed, I will be making the RAG for the rest of the exams as well in future. So yeah, this is the embed generation function. So you can see how it is generated. You can look at the code. I am not gonna explain it. I understand it less. Like, even I don't understand it completely. I took help from AI and documentation. And this is how we retrieve the retrieve the top 5 questions from our database. This is something, yeah. So yeah, and then we return the ID raw question, the question itself, like the pre-processed question, removing all the HTML, latex, and etc. The score, how close it is to that, the query, and the explanation for that particular question. Uh, this is used to provide the context to the LLM. So yeah, this is the rack system. That's how it works. And yeah, I think that's basically all the everything that I had to show. Let me look at it once. Yeah, okay, done. Track, test, search, question, practice, mark. Yeah, it's not much, but yeah, that's what I was able to do. I got involved in some bullshit at home, so yeah, I wasn't able to work properly. Yeah, other than that, that's basically it. Now the only thing that is left to include is a daily quiz thing. So what it will do is it will be a server wide quiz, like it will be a global quiz. So there will be a leaderboard, and there will be like 5 to 10 questions in the morning, in the evening, and at midnight. So 3 times a day, 3 times in 24 hours. And yeah, there will be leaderboard for each of those as well. So you will be able to perform those, and you will get oh yes, by that I got reminded of one more thing. There's now an experience and leveling. We had that before here, like I was displaying it here, but now it's gone because yeah, it wasn't looking good. I'll redo it and display it somewhere, the experience and the level of the user. So yeah, one second, let me, I think I do have it, the backend code for that. Yeah, so we are injecting it as well for each page. So the XP needed for next level, the current XP points, how much progress, yeah, how much progress is done, and like the total amount of XP we have, and the level. So this is another thing. Yeah, so what I was saying is that leaderboard, yes. So the leaderboard, you will receive achievements for it as well. You will receive experience points for it as well, based on your performance and your rank on the leaderboard. So yeah, that's what I have to do next. Other than that, the rest of the website is complete. I'll be working on a promo reel for it and a final launch video. My friend was telling me that he will be working on that video, so let's see how that goes. So yeah, that's it.